Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Crypto Esoterica. Appreciate you showing up. Do all the good stuff of like, subscribe, all that stuff. It helps tickle the algorithm of the robots, and they love to be tickled. So hit that like button for me and subscribe and all that notification bell if you want to keep getting more episodes of this. I haven't recorded for a couple weeks. Life gets in the way, right? So that's fine. But now I'm back, and we want to sort of start with a lot of people I hear. I counsel a lot of people and coach a lot of people while holding cryptocurrency classes, and a lot of the feedback I get is that there's this fear that's instilled by the media, and because we have so much social media and those are controlled by centralized systems. And yes, there are other ones that are no longer controlled by the centralized system, but decentralized. We can talk about that another time. But the mainstream media, as we know it, is controlled by 3 people in the entire world. And those media sites then are easily manipulated or easily taken down when someone doesn't like something that's going on. So they'll take you down. But what they're really good at is spreading propaganda. And the propaganda is to take more of your freedom away. If you don't have freedom, then you're consciously giving power over to other people. And if you aren't educated on their systems and how they are able to manipulate you, and again, I'm not judging this, it's just a system. If you don't like a poker game that you're in, then get out of the poker game and go to another poker game. It's just that simple. And yes, I understand that some of you are in difficult situations, but who is keeping you in that situation? Right? You have free will, but if you listen to mainstream media and all what they throw at you every couple months, they want to throw more fear, because it's easy to manipulate someone who's in fear. If you put a weapon to someone's head and then you say, do this, you're more apt to do it because you're in fear. And so the government uses media as a weapon. And again, I'm not blaming or faulting the governments. The government, when I'm talking government, it's those who govern the mind. That's what government is. And so when you allow others, that can be people, places, and things around you, not just the government. And for those crypto, or for those wanting to go down their deep rabbit holes, there really is no government. They're just storefronts with hired people doing the bidding of the elite. And again, that's another, we're not here to go political. We're just here to help those understand that when you are in a position that you think you don't have an outlet, or that you're in such shadow or darkness, especially with everything changing. Every couple of years, our way we think changes because of technology. And you have a few that create this technology, but those who held the old technology and have gained power because of that technology, they want to then keep that power. And if a new system comes up, they will immediately try to take that new power. And so with cryptocurrency, it's just a new consciousness. You cannot stop a new consciousness that's coming in. It's just the second, third, fourth, fifth wave, whatever you want to call this wave. I don't title a lot of things. It's just a new higher frequency coming into our consciousness. And this is what I'm calling Bitcoin 2.0, or consciousness 2.0. Bitcoin is just a icon. It's just a symbol of the new energy. And if you are open and want a way out of the shadow, then you can get into cryptocurrencies. Now, there's plenty of FUD, or fear, uncertainty, and doubt that the mainstream wants to tell you that, oh no, this new internet's no good, and I call it internet, it's just internet 3.0. And just as they said that internet 1, the experts said internet 1.0 won't go anywhere, or internet 2.0 won't go anywhere, it's the same thing, it's just new internet, and it will go, and it will take over the entire world as we know it. Now, can people corrupt it? Can people take advantage of it, manipulate it? Eventually, yeah, like any technology. And Bitcoin's just a technology. It's not the ultimate end-all technology. It's because 10, 20 years from now, there will be a new Internet 4.0 and Internet 5.0. We'll be in satellite spaceships. There'll be a whole new way of communicating through brain waves and all that good stuff. But sort of getting away from the point. The point here is that in Crypto Esoterica, the goal here is to just helping you understand yourself better. How do you learn? How do you educate yourself? What education are you getting? Because were any of y'all created how to create and run your own power plant? Were any of y'all brought up to create and run your own bank, or your own religion, right? Or your own scientists or create your own science and then create your own scientific community. No, we're not trained that way. We were trained and conditioned to do what the governors of our mind were teaching us. Again, I have nothing against these systems. These are just systems, but I choose not to be part of these systems. I learn from these systems greatly. I appreciate these systems. Because once you are judging something to be bad or good, it's just an internal representation. So if you're still judging other people, it's because you still think you're the victim of that system. Again, you can stay a lifelong victim and continually blame persecutors for your life and always look for a savior. When the next cold comes along, they want to name it, just like hurricanes, and then they want to be the savior. If you buy this apparatus that goes over your face, then that will save you. So every governess of the mind or governor of the mind will always bring you a savior, because they're the ones who create the demic, if you will. So they produce what is going to make you be afraid, and then they're going to come up with a solution. And that's fine, as long as you understand that's their system. You don't buy into their system, because now, just like hurricanes, they're going to name every cold and common flu that comes out. But if you don't look at this as a negative, your body naturally purges what it doesn't want in it, seasonally, yearly, decade-wise. Our body changes every 7 years. New cells are produced, new hair grows. Well, in my case, I'm losing some, but that comes with age. But anyway, Crypto Esoterica basically is going to help you understand your financial world, your spiritual world, your medical world, in the way that best serves you. If you're not being welcomed or helped or incentivized, then that system is just there to enslave you, and they will use your energy. And that's what we'll talk about in this episode. The energy is they want. They need it to run their systems. But the more you take your energy out, that depletes them of their system. And I'm not here to say one system is better or worse than another. I just don't choose to put my energy, because we are bioelectrical, biochemical, and biomechanical beings. We're, in essence, the rudimentary robots. And our goal is to build more robots, and those robots will be building better robots. And then we will then put our consciousness into those robots, and we will live for 800 and 900 years, or however long, until the next upgrade. So by better understanding your financial world, and especially we talk about cryptocurrencies, the more you understand cryptocurrency in the financial world, it will help you better understand who you are, and vice versa. The more you understand you, the more you understand the financial systems, the real money, not the ones that they are keeping you enslaved. Because every time you make more money by trading your biomechanical energy, they will raise the value of which you have to work more just to make the same pay, because they've raised the price on all the goods. So you'll never get out of that system by believing in that system, right? Belief is that you're still looking for a savior to save you from that enslavement. The only person that gets you out of slavery is yourself, and having an open mind to listen to those who have escaped slavery, if you will. So by understanding yourself better, you'll understand your financial sovereignty, your freedom. And we're going to do this through esoteric discovery. I'm looking at my PowerPoint over here, because if I don't, I'll go on a lot of tangents. So when I'm looking over here, I'm just keeping track. If not, this video can go on for hours. So basically, I've been doing coaching, counseling, whatever you want to call it. I've been helping people for decades, and I've done it with an esoteric perspective, right? If it's about your finances, I bring in the esoteric perspective. And for those who don't know what esoteric is, and if you haven't watched my other videos, go watch those. I'm not going to take time in this video to describe it, but basically eso means within, and it's knowledge within. Exoteric is knowledge outside of you. So any knowledge outside of you is just a mirror of what it is that you are choosing to be within. So anyway, we're going to look at your life with a crypto esoteric perspective. And by understanding yourself better, you'll understand your health, wealth, and love, and how to be sovereign in each one of those. So specifically in today's times, in 2021, about to go into 2022, a lot of people are panicking. A lot of people are feeling constricted. They are being imprisoned in their homes. They are having their rights taken away from them. They are being forced, if you will, to take medicines that they don't want to take because the states, countries are forcing people. And it's your choice to get up and move. So if that country or that place or that state is not treating you well, then it's up to you to move. If you stay in it, then you accept that slavery. And I understand that we all have reasons for staying where we're staying, but if you're not being treated best, you're just a frog swimming around in boiling water, and before you know it, someone else is eating you and your power. So basically, we want to be the light in the time of shadow, and there's a lot of shadow that people perceive themselves to be in, and we can get caught up and go down the rabbit holes and conspiracies, and that's great. But is it empowering you, or is it disempowering you? Everything's changing. Everything has always changed. People are saying, "Oh my God, this has never happened before." Well, none of us have ever lived that long. And yes, we can get into past lives, but we're not going there this time. But in our 70, 80 years of existence, everything has changed. Everything always changes. Nothing never not changes. And to say that this change is different than any other change, it's really not. It's just, does electricity change? Sure it does. I can take it from 110 or 120 volts to 220 volts. Or 440 or 880, I can take it, I can step it down, step it up. I can increase it, I can regulate it. I can do a lot with electricity, but electricity is electricity. And so what we're doing is we're going from 120 volts to a 220 volt being, because we can accept more energy, we can accept more stuff. So when you start accepting yourself to be who you are, not what others think you are, then that's where you will begin to transition out of the current state of what we call the human race into what the next race is, Homo illuminus, or in the scientific community it's transhumanism or metahuman. There's a lot of different names for it. One of the first steps to crossing over from the enslavement or the constricted mindset or the governed mindset to a sovereign mindset is what I call the cross. And yes, you can look at this as a metaphorical religious cross or however you want to look at it, but for me it's a cross, it's a bridge. You got to cross over the bridge. And that bridge is a gap between where you are now and where you want to be. And a lot of us don't know how to get where we want to be because we're so conditioned to what we don't want to be. But when push comes to shove, or that yearning or burning or that hunger or that thirst is inside of you, then you will do the steps necessary. And a lot of times when you begin to get outside, there's going to be resistance. And it can be a push to remain the same. But as long as you keep pushing forward and growing and educating yourself, then you'll begin to cross over. And so in esoteric speak, there's three gods, if you will. And those gods, two of them are silent, and there's will, wisdom, and action. Well, action is the physical God that represents how we take action, how we exchange our energy, our biomechanical, chemical, and electrical energy in this earth, in this field. And wisdom and will are silent. They are our esoteric gods, if you will. And again, God is not anthropomorphic, it is a state of consciousness. But will is separated from action because of wisdom. And so we have to understand what wisdom is. How do you gain wisdom? Wisdom has, we'll call them steps or stairways, if you will. And we start off because of experiences we are experiencing or events in our life that create that buildup of energy because we're tired of being governed, we're tired of being enslaved. There will be a pushing point, and now life will push you out of that point, or you can walk out of that point. It's up to you. You can go out dragging and screaming, being dragged and screaming, or you can walk out on your own free will. Now there's that will, and that will is also associated with power. So we are here to create our own power stations, or understand that you are a power station. And for the first time, we're going to get you creating your own will power. And once you have that willpower, by understanding wisdom, then you can take wise action here, or sovereign action, or free action steps, or in the exoteric existence, which is our God, our physical God self being expressed in its truest form. The first step is knowledge. And because of a life event, we needed knowledge because we didn't have knowledge. And when we go through those trying times, it helps us, there's a essence, a silver lining, if you will. And once you grasp that silver lining and act upon it, you're beginning the first step to wisdom. And once you understand that knowledge, you start taking more discipline, you start studying more, you start dedicating your time toward you and not other people, places, or things, because you're giving your power away. Once we gain our power, then we have plenty of power to share with others in many forms, be it financial, charities, or whatever. But from that, we have to be more disciplined, and then we end up being our own disciple, right? You have to become your own disciple. What does that mean? You don't follow others' systems, you follow and create your own system. That's sovereignty. Now, not everyone's going to be able to do that, and that's fine. We're not judging anyone, but I'm only talking to those who are ready to come out of enslavement or governing of the mind into your own mind. And so through awareness, through the discipline, that leads us to understanding. And this understanding basically is that now you understand how things work. And because of this understanding, you gain new perspectives, and you start acting on those new perspectives. You don't look at loss, you look at everything as a gain. Even though it sucks sometimes that what happens to you, we have to go through those emotional stages, but at the same time, it gains you new perspective. And when you act on that new perspective, you gain awareness. So we basically have, because of this life event, a life experience, you then have knowledge gained from that. And because of that knowledge and because of continual study and self-awareness, you gain that understanding. And with that understanding, you gain more self-awareness. And with that self-awareness does change your perspective. And so when you take those steps, you end up finally with that full awareness of who you are, what you are, you take full responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and emotions, then that's wisdom. And that wisdom only comes by putting things into action of what you're learning, what you're gaining, what you're understanding, right? Teaching others, right? And because of that, that's wisdom. So now that wisdom is activated, your willpower can now come into your action. So every action you take is right action. And right action is not wrong or right action. It's just action with purpose. So when you finally act purposefully, you then have purpose, and that purpose creates meaning. And then that meaning gives you drive, motivation, inspiration to go to the next step. And with understanding that and having awareness of that, we can now take that wisdom, that nugget that you just gained there, and then understand that once you have sovereignty, you become your own bank. You take your money out of the enslaved system and you put it into a system that works for you. And what we're dealing with here is cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin is just another name for consciousness 2.0, God, Shambhala, hierarchy. These are names that are energy. Once energy flows, then that energy becomes stepped down, just like 440 volts to 220 to 110. We now can take this new wisdom that we have and become our own bank. We can take this energy, instead of trading our physical biochemical energy for other people's purpose, we can now spend time studying, and with that studying time, when we take action, that action will be 10-fold, 30-fold, 60-fold, 90-fold. When I do 10 minutes of something, it gains me 50 minutes of more power. So I, in essence, work less. I trade my bioelectrical energy because it's now more impactful, it's more powerful. And so when I spend 10 minutes, as I used to spending 40 hours in a job, those 40 hours were taking my bioelectrical energy. And so because of that 40 hours, I would get a paycheck at the end of that. And so if I wanted more money, I had to spend more of my biochemical electrical energy. And now, by spending 10 minutes, I get the same amount I would have made in 40 hours. Does that make sense? So anyway, you become your own bank. You create your own money that then you can lend out to other people, those who need or help, or that you can gain more money off of that with higher interest accounts within crypto and investments and helping others create their crypto businesses. And that being said, you become your own source of power. And because of that, you now become your own electrical power company. Now, when I buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, that cryptocurrency, because I was knowledgeable enough to buy it, that increases. And the more people get educated, the more people buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, the more electricity is being used, literally. So with Bitcoin, this electricity ends up becoming stored. It's stored energy in my wallets. right? It's stored energy. And as that energy builds, I get more power in my power station, which then I can become a lender of that power to other people, right? So I can take that money, if you will, that I'm earning from Bitcoin and then lend that to other people, and then they pay me back more money as a percentage to use my power. Does it make sense? So we not only are you're your own bank, you're now your own electric company, because the energy that you're spending makes you more energy. When you work 40 hours plus at a job, a dead-end job, that they rig the prices where you have to work more and harder, you get more tired and tired and tired. But here, you become your own powerhouse. You have unlimited source of power, which you can do, lend, whatever you want to do with that. So again, you're a storehouse of energy, which is, you then take that stored energy and produce your own electrical company, a cosmic digital electrical company. And so you can lend that out to other people who are in need to illuminate their life. So when you share energy with other people, they become illuminated, so they come out of the dark. And so our whole purpose here is to help those that are in shadow come into light, if that's where you want to go, especially from where you are now to where you want to be. This is bridging that gap. And bridging that gap includes wisdom. But we have to have the will, and if you don't have the willpower because you're so tired of trading your energy for little pay, while they increase the prices to everything else while you're still working the same hours, you're not going to get ahead. And so by producing your own energy, it becomes digital energy in a sense, in modern day speak, which is cryptocurrencies. It's just more energy. My energy makes me more energy, and that energy makes me more energy. So sevenfold, my energy is making me energy. Does that make sense? So I have so much energy that I want to give it to other people. I want to share my knowledge, my thoughts that I've learned to other people, and that's what I do for a living. I share my knowledge with other people. My way is not right or wrong. It's not good or bad. It's just my unique information that I share with people. What I've gained as illumination or more energy, more power into my source, I then share that because I have so much. I want to give it to and share it with other people, and that's how I'm doing it through these videos. So again, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, guys. So basically, I can take my energy and sell my energy for more money. Right, I'm making energy through Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and it increases, so I have more energy, so I can sell that energy to other people and help them with their businesses or life or whatever. So basically, Bitcoin is just illuminated energy. So hopefully this has helped you today to maybe gain a little more insight into yourself, to help you escape your own governed mind of other people governing your mind. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.